Guys, here it is. We are exactly 2 days away from the season opener for the West Virginia Mountaineers. It is Rich Rod 2.0 coming to you in Morgantown against Robert Morris. I'll tell you what, I couldn't be more excited. I'm really excited. And this is the Collins Show, the West Virginia Collins Show on the Voice of College Football. So, with that, you have me tonight. It's just me tonight. So, we hope to have a good show. And we're going to talk a little bit about the schedule and how I'm disappointed, not because Alabama is missing, but for other reasons. So, we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about if you're concerned that Rich Rod has a lot of duplicates on his depth chart, the or designator on his depth chart. Is that concerning? Maybe not a quarterback, but I think it's concerning on other positions. We'll talk about that. And then the uniform was revealed today about 6:30. I have a hot take. I'm not a huge fan, but I'll get some feedback from you, what you think of the bananas. West Virginia has a pretty good record in the bananas. We'll talk about that. But with that, let's get to a few of the chats. Afton's in the house. Hi, Afton. So, we all know that in today's day and age that pay to play, that it's just a different time for college sports. And we're not quite into coaches aren't quite into the rhythm and have the feel for it. Most of these coaches have been coaching for 10, 15, 20 years. And this is all new, 4 or 5 years of coaching with NIL. So with that, folks like me, I've only been doing this a couple years. Guys and gals on ESPN have only been doing this they've been doing it for 30 years, but this is new to them. What will college football look like in 3 to 4 years? Will it look a lot like the NFL, where you literally have to almost like have a season that closes and opens back up with almost like a draft? Could that be the case? I don't know. For the reasons I don't like the NFL are the reasons that I fell in love with college football. And I find myself becoming less and less attached to the game that I used to really follow. Like, I would watch football Thursday night until middle of the night, Same with Saturday, watching like Fresno State and, oh goodness, BYU. Talk about that. We have a BYU game coming up. It's going to be 10:30. We'll talk about scheduling. How late is too late with the West Coast? But if anybody on here, if you're in the Morgantown area and you want tickets free, I'm just going to give 2 tickets away. So 2 tickets. Just hit me up in Messenger and send me your email and Messenger, and I'll hook you up. But you have to do it live on the show. That's it. But let's get started with the show. Okay, guys. So, Mountaineer Paul was talking today about how Neil Brown's players really haven't panned out in other programs. Yes and no. It's kind of hard to track and see how players have panned out, especially in the portal. If you're not picked up in the portal, it's almost like being put in a discount bin. There's limited limited spot where you can get picked up. Coop, do you want those tickets? They're yours if you want them. So there's a limited spot to be picked up. And I think what happens is a lot of players are falling through the cracks. A lot of players are moving to. Oh, you got season tickets. Okay. A lot of players are falling through the cracks. And I think it's unfortunate. And that's why we're in the situation we are with Jamori Robinson. He fell through the cracks with COVID. Now we're, these guys are in their 6th and 7th year. Didn't get picked up with the program. Now the NCAA, as we know, are reporting that he isn't eligible for 6 credits. Really kind of crappy the way that panned out, that they let West Virginia and him know, literally way late. They said he should have known, but that's unfortunate. He is not. When I was looking at the depth chart, he is not on the roster. So let's go to this depth chart real quick. Guys. So, we know Nico is starting, okay? And if you don't think he's starting, you're crazy. I just have to say. Now, Jalen Henderson's a stud. Anybody that goes to Texas A&M has money. They have bank. They got deep pockets, and they can recruit. They're in the SEC, and if you don't think the SEC is probably one of the best conferences, you're out of your mind. Okay, you're just fooling yourself. They have deep pockets now, mind you. Big 12 has some deep pockets now with the oil money that's going in Texas Tech, Oklahoma State, etc. But they got we got Jalen Henderson from Texas A&M. We got that Florida transfer, Max Brown. He's a stud. And then, of course, Scotty Fox. Scotty Fox is a blue chip quarterback. And he is literally, Rich Rod said, Scotty Fox has the quickest release of any player he has worked with. Let that sink in. Over 20 plus years, Rich Rod's worked with a lot of good quarterbacks. And Scotty Fox has the quickest release. Now, quickest release, what that translates to is NFL talent, because those are the guys that can play in the NFL because they can get rid of that rock quick. Doesn't allow that safety and that defensive backfield to make that read. But Rich Rod's still saying, and he keeps saying this over and over, and I believe it with the quarterbacks, that they're battling for a starting spot. I think they're going to play a couple in the first game. Now, these first games, usually West Virginia against these FBS schools will just roll them. They're 22-0, okay? They just have a hell of a record against these teams, and they just, going back 50 years, it's just been, Duquesne, Wofford, I'm trying to think who else, guys. Anybody in the comments, can you think of who else? Let me look at my list here. I had my list here. Richmond way back. Long Island. Let's see my list here. Eastern Kentucky, right? Albany was one. So, Long Island was like 66-0, wasn't it? Townsend was the one. Duquesne was like 56-10 or 17 or something. Guys, that is literally video game EA Sports type of numbers. So you're literally going to be putting up 40, 50 points. So with that, your quarterback is going to get a lot of reps. Your offense is going to be on the field a lot. You're going to be able to play multiple quarterbacks and get them game time reps. Perfect, right? So in 22 FCS games, you've scored 40 or 50 points, right? So you're going to be able to get Jalen. You're going to be able to get Nico, Scotty, Max. All these guys are going to be able to get some reps. That's fantastic. But what about these other guys? Right? Is he just trying to keep these guys battling to the end? Keeping them sharp? keeping that competition going by putting that or on there? Or is this a gimmick? Let me go to the chat, see what you guys think. Yeah, it could be Coop. Could be. Yep, I could see that. I could definitely see that. So with that, I really don't think, I think it's beneficial, but let's go and talk about some other positions, okay? Because he literally put on the depth chart or. I'm going to take a big sip of coffee here. So I've had the same coffee maker. I bought it when I first got married at a yard sale. It was a real expensive coffee maker. And that was 20 years ago. And I looked up the coffee maker and it was stopped. They stopped making it in 2002 and it just died. So this coffee maker is literally at least 23 years, probably older, probably 25 years old. And it just died. So, you know you're old when you're mourning a coffee maker that's 25 years old. I got a new coffee maker last night, and that's the first cup of coffee with it, and I'm not feeling it, guys. Not feeling it. So Rich Rod, Monday, I listened to that radio show, and he kept saying it over and over. He said, or. I think 10, 15 times he said the or thing. So when you have a starting quarterback, you have some sort of leader. And I think you have to at least name one and have a number two. And I think that's Nico. I think Henderson's maybe a 1B. And then I think Brown and Fox are right in there. Okay. I don't know about Wilkins. I just don't know about that guy. I haven't seen much film on him. I haven't heard boo beans or piss about the guy. I just don't know. There's too many quarterbacks for me really to keep track of. But Fox definitely is getting a lot of love from Rich Rod, and I think you're going to see him on Monday. That's what Shane wants to see on Monday. So if Rich Rod goes in there with some sort of plan on getting these guys some live reps and getting these receivers some live reps. There was an article this week that stated that he was concerned about the wide receiver room to start out, and now it's probably one of his stronger positions. Rich Rod does not make statements like that very often. Mind you, we act like we know Rich Rod. We haven't really followed him much in 15 years, but I mean, I have watched tape over the past 3 or 4 months on when he was at Arizona, even when he was at Michigan, and just to kind of see how he rolled through the summer. Now, mind you, things are different now. As I mentioned earlier in the show, it's NIL. It's the new era. It's like if you watched wrestling 20 years ago, the New World Order. It's just like everything's different. Everything's out the window. So I get nervous when you start listing skill players in the backfield in the or position. I really do. I do. Or offensive linemen in the or position. So I don't think it would be good if you have ors on your depth chart going into PITT. And by the way, big milestone for West Virginia. Highest ticket sales since 2012. And 2012 was the last year, other than last year, because the last year was the first year I bought season tickets again. 2012 was the last year I had them. So I had them from like 2004 to 2012. So, as I said, if they have ors on the chart going into PITT, I'll be concerned. Unless, walk this back a little bit, you have a little bit of smoke and mirrors for the quarterback position. And that's just so that Pitt can't really kind of plan for it. But you do have two lefties, right? You have two lefties playing quarterback. So, but Zach Alley's defense, I don't want to see. I don't want to see the oars there. I want to see that Reed Carrico because he has been there a minute. I want to see him playing middle linebacker. I want to see him smacking the shit out of someone. I want to see Chase Wilson getting to play some. I want to see these guys get reps. And it sounds reps like it's a preseason game. It's a real game. They've never played Robert Morris ever. And West Virginia is 22-0 against FBS. You don't want it to be that one time. Because Iowa State lost against Ohio a couple years ago. Pitt lost against, I can't remember who, Youngstown State or somebody. It's not a good look for a program that's trying to build brand value. Brand value for what's to come. And what's to come is the conference, super conference. It's coming. It's like we are the doomsday preppers of college football. And we have to build a bunker with wins and brand value and pepperoni rolls and moonshine and maybe a beer pong or two. But I don't know. So who else to have back there that I want to see? Who does Shane want to see? Well, I want to see Brandon Siders. Yeah. I want to see that cat. Fred Perry. Jason Chambers. At corner, what's his name? Michael Coates. Yeah, he's really good. Now, we didn't think Jamori Robson, when they came out with the fact that it was an academic issue, I did not think they would play him, and they haven't. And that's unfortunate. But I really think the NCAA is going to stick to their guns and try to hammer West Virginia. But let's see. Afton, what are you saying? I don't think they make things the same way they used to. Yeah, with the coffee maker. Son of a gun. Son of a gun. So Afton, this is like my 6th show this week. Wait. 4th show. And I might be going on with Mountaineer Paul tomorrow. Yeah, might be going on with Mountaineer Paul tomorrow and Jackson Johnson on talk about Alabama. We're going to talk about that tonight too. So don't stick around. We're going to talk about how disappointed I am and how I won't be buying season tickets again. So, yeah, Khalil. Yep. Yeah, Pitt just sucks. Okay. So, okay, I'm just beating a dead horse with this. We know that it's important. It's important in context. So I really want, on offense to see some studs too. We know we got back Jeff Weimer, okay? I don't know how effective he's going to be. Now, routes are routes, a dig route's a dig route, a post to post, whatever. But you want to be able to get in some sort of rhythm with your quarterback. There's a little bit of it's like Dancing with the Stars, week 1 versus week 3. You want to see that. You don't want to step on people's toes. Okay. Justice Smith-Brown, you might see him. Maybe against Ohio, maybe against Robert Morris. Ty Edwards, he's not on the list chart, but he is listed as eligible. I don't know why he isn't on the depth chart. I'm very concerned about that. I want to see Ty Edwards. He is, if you're making a sandwich and it's Scooby-Doo, he is that sandwich that's that tall. He is a monster. I want to see him run. I want to see that guy get the rock, and I want to see him blow up a couple defenders for Robert Morris. I mean, I'm not a good person. I just want to see someone get their ankles broken. But there are some guys that they're definitely too deep because they paid for some quality talent in the backfield, and I want to see Warren Singleton Jr. and Jared Bowie. I want to see Jared Bowie return some kicks. Now we have Preston Fox back there. He's been back there for a minute. He's all Big 12 returner. They have Preston Fox or Jared Bowie, but Preston Fox is listed first, and he's returning all Big 12 guy that came out of retirement, like it's a curtain call. So I want to see Preston Fox. But Bowie's a freak. And like Rich said, you're not wrapping these cats in cellophane for someone else to use. And there's no more. The expiration date is going to be passed. Jared Bowie, this is last year, I think. Preston Fox, this is his last year. Thank God the offensive line doesn't have any oars. That is a blessing. They don't have any listed. I'm looking at my book here. I have my book here, and I don't have any listed down. You have Nick Crow will play left tackle, and then you have Walter Youngbear, who is I just love that kid. He's left guard. Landon Livingston is one of our guys going to be playing center. I hope I don't butcher this guy's name. Kimo Makinalo. Jiminy Christmas. Chemo. That old so-and-so. At right guard. And Tykees Crawford at right tackle. Now, I know Tykees Crawford because I met him when I was staying at the Hilton Gardens in Morgantown when he was down there in January. So, the D-line also didn't have any, from what I read here, didn't have any listed as oars, and I would lose my shit if they did. Heyman Russell is the nose guard. Now Siders is supposed to play Bandit, but I don't really know exactly how they're going to structure that. But the kicker situation is kind of crazy because you have, Cade Hensley is the place kicker, but that new Ethan Head will do the kickoff. Oliver Straw is the punter. He's back from last year, and he also hold on the extra points and the field goals. So, a little bit of a rundown on best I could on what's going on because it's still a hot mess. I'm gonna try to share my screen here and show you something. If it doesn't come up, so be it. Okay, uniforms. What do you kids think? Are you a fan? After I'll ask you. You don't have a dog in the hunt. Do you like the bananas? Do you like the bananas? It's almost like, can I pet your dog? Do you like the bananas? I'm kind of torn on them. No, I don't like them either. I think they're terrible. I think they're terrible uniforms. I don't like the font on those uniforms. Those are the ones from last year. These new ones are better looking. They're better looking uniforms. But I'm going to tell you guys. And the Afton doesn't like the all gold Steelers either. Coop says gray's his favorite. My favorite, guys, is the all white with the blue helmet. When I play it, I like the all white. When I see my kid in the all white, I just like the all white with the whatever helmet you have. His helmet's gray, but I like the all white with the blue helmet. Those are my favorite. My second favorite is the blue pants with the white and the blue helmet, and my probably the one that's just nostalgic is the blue with the blue helmet and the gold pants. That is just legitimately the best uniform. If you're home, that should be the go-to. This yellow baloney is alternate uniform. If you're home and it is the opening game. You should stick with the old standby. And I sound like someone who was on the channel a few months ago. Brian, you know who you are. Josniak, you know who I'm talking about. I love the fact that they have the glossy helmets again. The Cold War Rush, I have mixed feelings on Coop. I think it's nostalgic. I like the fact that it has ties to the coal mining industry. I like that. But guys, do you really think that you shouldn't wear like the standard, the home uni, like, just think about like the old like military uniforms. If you're a Marine and you're getting married, you're wearing your blues, right? You're wearing your blues if you're getting married and you're a Marine. If you're dead and you're a Marine, you're buried in your blues. If I'm a Mountaineer and I'm playing football, I'm in my blue top, my blue battle bucket, and my gold pants. That's just it, kids. That's it. That's the uniform of the day. Sorry, I'm old school. I do like the black. I think they're sharp. I think it's different. But those are for like a night game or something different. Not for the opening game, not for, 2:00 kickoff against Robert Morris. This gold is okay maybe if you're playing in Ames, Iowa, or if you're playing a team that also has a blue and white uniform, like a Penn State, right? Don't know, guys. Just saying. That's my thoughts on that. Went down a rabbit hole, hating on the uniform. But let's go back to little head Shane instead of big head Shane. All right. Enough of that. Okay. Let's get to my other bitch and moan. I'm going to read this verbatim. Ready, kids? West Virginia University football program has confirmed that there will be no game against the University of Pittsburgh in 2026. This decision was made to align with the new SEC structure, which will see 9 conference games starting in 2026. Okay. So that is the SEC. Okay. I don't understand what the hell that has to do with Pittsburgh. Okay. The Mountaineers will face Coastal Carolina on September 2026, Southern Miss in 2027. The cancellation of the Alabama game allows WVU to modify its non-conference slate to maintain stability and to align with National College Football landscape. That was courtesy of WBOY.com. So that is what the statement says. And it's also on WV Sports Now. No replacement for Brawl. And that's why. Sorry, guys. I buy my tickets for one game. I will go to StubHub and buy tickets for Texas Tech or buy tickets for Baylor or Kansas State if I feel like it. If I'm like, okay, I feel like going to a game. Okay. I buy season tickets, so for damn sure I have seats for Pitt or for Penn State or for Virginia Tech or for Louisville. If we're playing those boneheads, I'm going to have my butt in the seat. But unless those jackasses are on the roster, I'm not buying season tickets. I'll go to StubHub and buy onesies or twosies. I'm not buying the whole season. You're not getting, $2,500 or $3,000 from Shane. It's not happening. It's not happening. Sorry. You just had a year where the Mountaineer ticket office announced that they sold out at 33,634 tickets. The most since the Big 12. They joined the Big 12 in 2020, since 2012. The backyard brawl is sold out. And that's with Pitt handing tickets over. And that bum, Pat Narduzzi, said that people aren't safe in Morgantown. Has he been to Oakland? Has he been to Pittsburgh? Someone just got shot in the Hill District 2 days ago. Okay? It's a lot safer in Morgantown than in Pittsburgh. You're crazier than cat shit, Narduzzi. You know what that did? It just put more Mountaineer fans in the seats. Thank you. Thank you, Pat Narduzzi, for giving deserving Mountaineer fans a chance to watch their beloved Mountaineers go out there. Yep, Coop. Okay. Yes, Coop, I want to see Virginia Tech. No, Southern Miss and Coastal. Okay. But, yeah, the PITT game. If it's not the PITT game, Penn State, Virginia Tech, Louisville on the schedule, I kind of want to see Texas Tech because they're going to be good. So end of the year, I'll see that. Utah is going to be fun to watch. There's some of these games. I like to watch these games, okay? It's a 2-hour drive for me. Okay, I'll drive down, see the game. A lot of you folks driving from, south down by Beckley. I mean, that's a haul from down there. Charleston, that's a haul. So I know everybody drives from a long distance to get these games. But there's one solution to this problem of scheduling. And it's not a simple one. And that's winning. You roll 6 wins together, 7 wins together, people want to see it. It's like that Field of Dreams. You build it, they will come. Rich Rod, you win those games. Butts will be in the bleachers. Asses will be in the seats. And coonskin's caps will be freaking all over the place. I found this in my kid's closet. Look at this. People be rocking these, man. Woo, going nuts. Huh? You can't tell me that you won't be excited if West Virginia has 6 wins, 6-0, or just 2-0 rolling into Pitt. That's what needs to happen. So, if you guys want to hop on, I'm going to add the link in here. I'm going to invite you in. Here we go. Copy and paste. Ready? There's the link. If you want to pop in and say hello. This is the call-in show. If you have any questions, if you want to ramble on, if you're not a West Virginia fan, you want to talk about University High, if you want to talk about Linville State, anything, pop in. But tonight, Wisconsin's playing. That's kind of cool. And if you're a sweaty college football nerd, this is the year for your mental health to crap to bed, because this is the time where you just start staying up too late watching football and worrying too much about your team. And talking about that, I'm going to show you something else. So check this out right here. You ready? So, what do you think of a 10:30 kickoff time for there it is. 10:30 kickoff time, October 3rd. I guess you're going to have some coffee for that, right? A little bit. The sweet spot for me as a fan is between that 2 to 4. That 2 to 4. If you go past 4 o'clock, I think you're going to get too tore up in the blue lot. It's just going to creep up on you and it's going to hit you. As soon as you sit down in the stands and you've been partaking in Papa's moonshine, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Yeah, the best kickoff is 8 if you're 22. If you're 22, you can rock the 8 o'clock. No, 8 o'clock kickoff like the LSU game was amazing. But then you see kids like at 10 a.m. passed out. You see kids that early passed out. When are we going to start seeing the other times for the other games? Because I need to start planning that stuff. As an adult, and you guys are all adults, I'm sure, you got to start planning this stuff. Like, my kid's football game was changed to Saturday. That's why I'm giving my tickets away. So if you need tickets, oh, Coop's 13. Okay. Thanks, Coop. I don't believe that. So if you want if you need 2 tickets for the game, I'm giving them away. Just hit me up. But let's talk about that. I just saw I saved it here on my phone. Let me pull it up and I'll just talk through it. Okay. So check this out. Who do you think has the highest average price for a ticket? I'm going to read through them here. We'll start with the cheapest. The cheapest ticket in the Big 12 is Arizona State at $25. Arizona State at $25. Can't really see that. Oh, well, who cares? UCF at $30. Arizona at $38. Houston at $49. Texas Tech at $69. And what this is the average Big 12 football price from 2025. Cincinnati is $66.75. Baylor's average football price per ticket, $70.57. Kansas, even with that new stadium, still comes in the middle of the pack at $76.43. Now we jump up $12 to $88 even with Oklahoma State. Okay. $2 bump for TCU, which is a super expensive school to go to. Iowa State is $94.50. Now we're getting up some big baller money, kids. This is the top 5 here. BYU, $105.50. Wait, West Virginia is not even, we haven't come to West Virginia yet. BYU is number 4 at $108.50. Yes. BYU. Utah is $108 at number 4. West Virginia, our Mountaineers, are number 3 at $111.50 on average per ticket, per seat. Number 2 is Colorado at $130. And number 1 is Kansas State at $131.50. Manhattan, Kansas, might as well be Manhattan, New York. $131.50 for tickets. Can you believe that? West Virginia's number 3 on the list. Has one of the lowest costs of living, but one of the highest costs for tickets. And Afton says, at least we're number 1 for something. Yes, Kansas. Willie the Wildcat is living high on the hog. He's just got the fat stacks. Anyways. Okay. So, with that, I can't believe that Texas Tech and Arizona are as low as they are. The Big 12 average for all of these together, I did the average, is $78. That's pretty typical for all of college football. So I thought that would be fun to put on the show tonight. So with that, I want to just take this time to say, hey, it's 48 hours till kickoff. It's going to be a great, great season. And I might not be buying my season tickets next year if Pitt's not on there. But if West Virginia goes on a tear and wins 9 games, I might change my tune. I might change, because winning cures everything. Winning cures everything. With that, I want to say, let's go Mountaineers, and have a good night.